Hello. Well, it is. I'm a little bit late. I'm a couple minutes late. 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon. That's my new time. So I'm trying to be prompt, and I'm here. I wanted today. So let me. I'll give you a little bit of a history in case you've never been to my channel before. Let me get these out. I'm probably going to have to use these. These are my reading glasses. I am Amy Fields Perrin. You can find me on Instagram at Amy Fields Perrin, and my first name is Aimee. Um, Instagram or Facebook, and you can communicate with me there or on my YouTube channel, which is Brisket Boomers. If you're here, you probably know it. So today I was like 2 minutes late because I was going to drive to the spring this morning and my car wouldn't start because I almost never drive it except if I'm going to visit somebody like an hour and a half away or if I have to go to the spring. And that's about the only time I ever use it because I walk to the grocery, I walk to the library, I walk to book club, I walk to occasionally get coffee at a coffee house. Um, so the spring that I go to is 16 miles away, so it takes about a half hour to get there and back. So it takes me just a little over an hour to go get 10 gallons of fresh spring water. So that's awesome. I am 71, almost 72 in July. I've had type 1 diabetes for 55 years. I work really hard to stay as healthy as possible. Right now, I am doing I feel like there's too much table right here. I'm doing a carnivore diet, and I am a health coach, and I'm just a coach, meaning I'm not a medical professional. So nothing I say is meant for advice for anybody else. I just tell my story in case you're interested. I've been on a health journey for a really long time. I'll give you just a little bit of a summary. I grew up with, now this is interesting because we were talking about possible causes of type 1 diabetes, so I was like going back in my mind a little bit about what it could have been. You might be able to see that my eyes don't track perfectly. I was born with crossed eyes, and then at 3 I had a tonsillectomy and an eye operation. Then at 10 I had another eye operation, and every time I got sick when I was a kid, headaches, I forgot about that. Headaches started at 6, and constipation started, I don't remember when, like my whole life. So my mother gave me lots of enemas. If you don't know what that is, look it up. I'm not going to explain it. So anyway, every time I got sick, I was given medicine, and and then when I was 15 and had cystic acne, I was put on tetracycline, a very powerful antibiotic that I was on for about a year, and then I got really sick and I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. I tend to think that the cause of mine was over medication, but I wasn't super healthy when I was born because I was premature and had crossed eyes. So my health has been compromised from the beginning of my life, or maybe before the beginning of my life. So anyway, I use carnivore to keep me the healthiest that I can be. When you're trying to like make up for past health issues that you're trying to correct, the carnivore diet works pretty good to unmask and hadn't thought about how to say this, but it works pretty good as an elimination diet. So you can get, a lot of people get really healthy on it, and it's helped a lot of people improve their health. Anyway, that was just a short summary. So this YouTube video is supposed to be about my recent blood tests. So I went to the endocrinologist on the 25th of February. It's the 5th of March. So, about a week ago. A week and 2 days ago. So, Wednesday. Then, or maybe it was Friday. I don't remember what day it was, what day of the week it was. But I went for blood test on Monday, this Monday. So that'd be, 5 days ago. And then I got the results on Tuesday, which was pretty quick. And I just wanted to go over them a little bit. Basically, it was the standard blood test. What do they call this? The C something. I don't remember. But, just the basic blood test plus a C-peptide test. Now, the C-peptide test, that's what I wanted to see most over any of the other values that came back, because the C-peptide test, C-peptide is a substance that's left over from producing insulin. So if your body produces insulin, you make C-peptide. So in a type 1 diabetic who is supposedly not able to produce insulin, they would have an extremely low C-peptide. So I think around point something to 1, or I'm not exactly sure what I'll be able to look it up on the test. It'll tell me what normal is. But so I was getting another one. I got one in September. So I try to get one maybe every 6 months, because I had been trying to see if I could heal by changing things in my diet and lifestyle. So, the last time I got a C-peptide, well, I'll go over it when I get to it, but I'm going to start at the beginning of these blood tests. So my glucose was 109, and it says that was high. Well, I don't think it was very high, but yes, it is a little bit high, because it should be under 100. But for a type 1 diabetic, that's not necessarily all that high. My BUN, which stands for something in the urine, kidney function, or anyway, it was 31, which says it's high. But when you're on a carnivore diet, high is, or a little bit high especially, is supposed to be good or expected. I'm not sure which. Creatinine 0.8, that's fine. The EGFR calculated is 79. Now that, I thought it would give me a little bit more. That is good. It's fine. That is the filtration rate in the kidneys, which means, because kidneys are something that can be harmed from high blood sugars. So if my rate is normal, that's really good. It means my kidneys are working and they're not damaged by having type 1 diabetes. Yippee! Right? Or by, some people say that the carnivore diet or red meat is supposed to be bad for your kidneys. It's not. Look at my kidney function. It's fine. Sodium is 136, which is a little low. It's interesting. I think I was a little dehydrated when I had this. I don't take electrolytes, which I am rethinking. But I realized I was a little bit dehydrated because when they took my blood, it took a really long time for the test tube to fill up. And I'm like, oh God, it might mess up some of my values. And I could have easily fixed that by drinking a few glasses of water before I left. But anyway, potassium is normal, chloride normal, anion gap, which I've never heard of, is normal. CO2 is low, which I don't know why, but maybe just because I was dehydrated. I'm not really sure. Calcium, normal. Okay, now go to the next page. Total protein, 8.4. Now it has the other. Okay, I'm going to look that up. Sodium is supposed to be, supposed to be 137 to 145, and mine was 136. So I'm not going to, that is not low. It's tiny bit low. And the BUN is just a little bit high, which it's actually is supposed to be high-ish. It's from 7 to 24, and mine was 31 on a carnivore diet. That just means it's a good thing. All right, so CO2, calcium is perfect. Total protein is 8.4, that's in range. Albumin in range. Globulin in range. AG ratio in range. Bilirubin completely in the middle. Alkaline phosphatase 75 right in the middle. AST, aspartate aminotransferase, whatever that is, right in the middle. 37. ALT 30, which is in range. And cholesterol high, and my brain thanks me for that. It is 265, which used to be, before they came out with medications to lower cholesterol, 265 was a good number. I'm not concerned about that at all because my brain wants cholesterol and all my cells need cholesterol, and it's a good thing. My triglycerides are 126, that's fine. My HDL is 118, which is really good. It's supposed to be over 40, but higher the better, pretty much. And my LDL 122, which says high, but that's okay too, because did you know that people that have a high LDL live longer? Yeah, that's true. Okay, now this is really cool. The next one is my endocrine chemistry, thyroid stimulating hormone, or TSH. Last time it was high, and my endocrinologist wanted me to get a thyroid panel, the whole panel, and I didn't do it because I have no symptoms. So the symptoms would be fatigue and cold hands and feet, and my doctor felt my throat to see if she could feel any kind of enlargement, and there was nothing, so she said, I think it's fine, which my TSH shows that it's 3.440, and that's pretty much good. It's the high-ish good, but anything under 4 is okay, and this is 3.4, so it's 0.400 to 4.000. So anything between those two values, so that's good. Okay, thyroxine free, that's the FT4, that's good. Okay, now here we get to the C-peptide. My C-peptide, come on. I'm looking at former tests. So my C-peptide this time was 0.15. Now the reference range, it's supposed to be 0.80 to 3.85. That's healthy C-peptide. My C-peptide is 0.15. Now, the one before that was 0.18, which was up from the one before that, which was 0.10, and the one before that was 0.14. So this whole time that I've been testing since 2022, it's been between 0.10 to 0.18, and today, this week it was 0.15. So obviously any doctor who would see this would say, well, you're still type 1 diabetic. So that's fine. That's fine. Okay, how do I go back? I go back. Well, actually, I was hoping it was going to be higher, and then I could watch it raise, and I could go, oh, I'm making insulin now. But that's not what happened. But like I told my my group coaching people, was that no, that's not what I want to do. That it kind of takes the pressure off of me. I can just enjoy a regular carnivore diet, and I don't have to be constantly under the pressure of trying to heal. If it's not gonna heal, that's okay, because I'm doing really well and I'm very, very healthy. So let me see if there's any other tests that I wanted to report. C-peptide. Okay, urine chemistry, creatinine 120.9. It's not going to the right ones. What's the deal? I don't know what the reference range is. It doesn't have a reference range. The albumin urine is fine. Oh, and the ratio, it says high. Albumin creatine ratio, it says high. I don't know why. I'm not sure why, and I don't know if that's important. So, you can't know everything, right? I'm sure somebody who would know could tell me. And, anyway, so my HbA1c, which I knew because they tested it at the office, is 5.7. A little disappointing. I'd like it to be lower, but that's what it was. My blood pressure, which they did in the office, was 148/88, and that's a little high. But when you're at the office, at the doctor's office, and you got a little white coat syndrome and a little nervous, and I had just walked there, and then I sat down, they took my blood pressure. So if they had let me sit still in a dark room for 15 minutes, it probably would have been like 130/80. So it still might have been a tiny bit high, but I think it's okay. Oh, that's my height, 171 centimeters. I don't know what that means, and I don't even know. They didn't measure my height. My weight is 15.3 kilograms, which was like 113 pounds. And BMI has been 17.5 every time I've ever been there. So that is all of my blood test. I don't know what everybody thinks. We've been talking for about 20 minutes. I do want to get to the spring. I would love to hear anybody's, and nobody even came on. That's interesting, because usually when I go live, I have 3 people on, but they haven't asked me any questions. So, hi. So I'm gonna go to the spring. I fill up 2 big 5-gallon water buckets, and they weigh 40 pounds apiece. And, oh, ow, let me see what it says. It says, whoop, it went away. Let me see. Okay. All right, live chat. Oh, what diet do you feel the best? Oh, I feel the best. Oh, actually, let me think. It depends. Maybe I feel a tiny bit better physically on the Lion diet, which is mostly beef, salt, and water. But emotionally, I feel better on the basic carnivore diet, which is beef, butter, bacon, and eggs. So it's kind of a toss up. And I don't mind the Lion diet. It's, if I get, I was on it for 2 months and I just really missed bacon and eggs, basically, and butter. So I'm really enjoying my break from the Lion diet. I keep missing, um, good afternoon. Oh, hi, North Dakota Carnivore. I think I know you, but I don't know what your first name is. But anyway, welcome, welcome. I'm hoping, so it's almost 3:30. I'm really hoping that I can drive to the spring and get there and fill my water bottles up. I was getting ready to say those 5-gallon water bottles are, it's 40 pounds. That's what 5 gallons is, and they are pretty heavy, but I manage. And sometimes somebody in line, because there's always a line at the spring, sometimes the person behind me helps me get them in my car. But I can get them from my car, parked out there, into my house. And, that's possibly right. If they were any heavier, I'm not sure I'd be doing it. But the water is really, really, really good. And it stays cold for like a day and a half. And I have a stoneware crock that the bottle goes upside down on top of, so it keeps it cool like refrigerated water. So it's really nice. Um, what do you clean your water bottles with? I don't clean them all the time, but I did. I did clean them the last time I went with hydrogen peroxide. So I just pour in several, maybe a quarter cup hydrogen peroxide and hot water from my bathtub, and I swish it around. And I have a brush that brushes the inside as good as I could, and I fill it up a bunch of times and then clean it. But they stay clean for several months, and the only thing they get a little bit of green algae on the inside, so I cleaned that up the last time I got water. So that's how I do it. Yeah, that's it. So I was pretty happy with my blood test. Not everything was perfect, but I think the important stuff was really good. And I haven't gotten any phone calls from my endocrinologist, so I guess she's happy too. She she knows that I'm on a carnivore diet, and she just gives me a lot of space, and it's really wonderful. So she ordered the C-peptide because I told her the carnivore diet has been healing people of a lot of different things, and I just wanted to keep track of my C-peptide, and she was fine with that. And she did once tell me that she didn't agree with how I treat my diabetes, but that she was there for me, and anytime I needed any kind of prescription or things, she would help me out. And she can see that I'm very healthy, and she's impressed with my level of health and dedication. I can tell by the way she talks with me, and she's very respectful. So that, really makes me happy. How did she want you to, what? All right. I'm trying to see, allow it to be a lot higher. What? What a lot higher? I'm not really sure how to do this. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, what? Okay, good afternoon. How did she want you to treat it? Oh, I don't know. She never really told me. Why does it keep going away? I don't understand why it keeps going away. Allow it to be a lot higher? No, I don't think so. BG, blood glucose? Why does it do this? It just disappears on me. I don't know. I would like them to stay on stay on it. I wish they would. No, I don't know. I fired my endo and just used primary. Well, actually, I'll tell you about my primary. My primary, I was driving about an hour close to where I used to live to go to this nurse practitioner that I kind of liked. And then she went out of business. I don't know why, but she stopped practicing as far as I could tell. I couldn't. Okay. Oh, and so then I went to a different nurse practitioner in her practice and saw her once. And then I got a letter in the mail saying that the practice had closed. So I said, oh, I want my records, and they didn't send me my records. And then when I tried to call them, they weren't there anymore. So that was pretty weird. So I haven't found a primary yet. And so I asked the endocrinologist, like, is there someone, because I can walk to the endocrinologist, which is one reason why I keep going to her. Right. And I really like her a lot anyway. And she's young, she's Indian, and she's, friendly enough. And she's, at one time she was gonna take my driving license away. And I had to convince her that I have a CGM and I never drive if my blood sugar is low. And she wanted to take my driver's license away because I go low a lot. And I said, I don't drive if it's low. And she took my word for it, which she should, because I check. It's right here on my phone. I don't drive if it goes low. So she let me keep my driver's license, and we got over that hump. And no, the endocrinologist does not do anything other than get me the reason I started going to her was because I needed a prescription for my CGM, and I wanted a CGM after my husband died because I wanted to know what my blood sugar was in the middle of the night in case I woke up. I always wake up if my blood sugar is low, always. And my blood sugar goes low often in the middle of the night. And even after they retire, stop. Okay, all right. Why doesn't it? Even after they retire, stop practice, they are required to keep your records for some years, I think. Well, I don't know, but I think that the medical system that I'm in, they have to send the records in. So I'm sure that they are, the hospital or whoever keeps the records, they have my records. So the records have not been lost. Because they report to each other into this patient portal. So I didn't lose my records. So yeah. But anyway, I asked the endocrinologist how to get a primary care, and she said, go downstairs. There's a practice with residents. So if you don't, she agreed that I probably ought to get a bone density scan since I was skinny and 71. And so I agreed, like I wouldn't mind having a bone density scale, but you have to have that through a primary. So she said, go downstairs. That practice is all residents. And if you don't mind going to a resident And I'm like, I don't mind, because I don't really, there's no reason for me to need a primary care except, to, in case I wanted a bone density scan or in case I wanted to go to a different kind of doctor, which right now I don't. But anyway, they said, we're not taking new patients. I'm like, oh, great. So they're not taking new patients. I couldn't just go in and go, all I want is a bone density scan. You don't even have to do anything. You don't even have to look at me. Just, send me to wherever I need to go to get a bone density scan. How hard can that be? She wasn't having any of it. So, I don't know. I mean, I jump a lot. I do a lot of exercises. I walk. I do all the things that older people are supposed to do to keep their bones strong. Last year, it was about this time last year, maybe, or it might have been the year before. I don't even remember. But I fell down on cement because I was on a walk with my son, and I had his dog, who is a big dog, and he went off the path to pee in the woods, and I was holding both dogs. And when he came back onto the path, which was a cement road path, the dog ran after him, and I couldn't get the leash off my hand to let go. And so I went down really hard on cement, and my skin was broken and abrased on lots of places, but my bones weren't. So I figured my bones are pretty good. I don't think I need to worry. I'm not going to fall and break anything anytime soon. So, hey, that, and I could have, I was skinned, my hands, the back of my hands, both knees, my shins, it was all, I was really banged up, but I did not break anything. So I figured my bones are okay. Anyway, that's kind of my health report. You guys, thank you for watching, and let me know, come visit me on Instagram or leave me comments like, what would you like me to talk about next time? But I'm trying to come on every Friday at 3 Eastern. So that's going to be my time. And anyway, thank you very much. And anyway, I do group coaching. My group, just a little commercial about my group. My group coaching, we do a Zoom call and we have a WhatsApp group. And the Zoom call is Thursdays, 7 Eastern. And if you're from somewhere else in the world, oops, let me hang up on this person. I don't know that number anyway. It wasn't somebody on my list. I have no idea who that was. Let's see. If you want to be in my group, let me know. Find me on Instagram, Facebook, or here on YouTube, and let me know if you'd like to be in the group. We have one Zoom call a week and a WhatsApp group to share our thoughts, our videos, our photographs of our food, our needing support, getting support. Anyway, yeah, it's a great group, and we'd love to have more of you join. So, thank you, and be good, eat meat, and love everybody. Bye-bye.